A bit of an interesting development from the Bayern Munich side around Florian Wirtz. This came from a Bayern Munich fan, what are they called, Space, and I will take you through that and exactly what was said in there as well, because it looks like, well, Bayern Munich have not only annoyed Bayer Leverkusen, but also annoyed Florian Wirtz's family with the way they've gone about it. So, lots more to go through. Feels like the club want a star signing after the poor PR, said Camel Deep. So I certainly hope so, my man. So as we sit here and we're having this conversation, Camel Deep, we know that the Florian Wirtz situation is unfolding. But what I don't want to happen as a Liverpool fan, once again, is us to end up with egg on our face and losing out on a player who we've publicly let it be known that we admire. And if he shows any indication of wanting to move to the Prem, that we'd be there or thereabouts. If he does come to the Premier League, I know this sounds like a bit of a big statement, but I think that him alone could be a difference between City maybe winning the Prem and Liverpool winning the Prem. If it comes down to a battle for Wirtz with both of our clubs, I think it would have to be a decisive blow for us if we were managed to get him. If we lost him, it would certainly be a major strengthening of a rival. Like, make no mistake about it, he is a very, very, very talented up-and-coming player who I'm sure you guys know all about. But they want him as a De Bruyne replacement. And I've known for a long time that they wanted him. They did look at Dominic Szoboszlai previously, but obviously Szoboszlai then came to Liverpool. I don't know how to feel about the Wirtz stuff, to be honest with you. Lots of people have said the same stuff we heard around Lenny Yoro and the same stuff we heard previously about other players. Will that translate into Liverpool actually putting up the money? I hope so, but let's wait and see. Corbin, how are you, bro? I don't understand Wirtz. I know we need a creative. Right, so it would just be one of those that he is a generational talent, for want of a better phrase. And if he becomes available on the market, everybody, and I mean everybody, the football clubs in England, journalists, media over in Germany as well, everybody assumed that he was going to go to Bayern Munich. It almost felt like it was a done deal and there was no point in talking about it. But I want to read through some notes that we made from that Bayern Munich Bayern space. You can probably look at this yourself. But we'll take you through some of the reasons why Liverpool and Manchester City are now becoming a bit more optimistic that perhaps we could see something happen. So over the last couple of weeks, there's been a bombardment from Bayern Munich in the media and stuff in Germany, just suggesting that a deal was close to being done. The player only wants Bayern Munich. But things have changed a little bit. So Bayern let false media reports about a deal with Florian Wirtz circulate without denying them. This was a strategy to put pressure on Leverkusen into lowering the asking price. Because remember, Bayern only wanted to pay about 80 for Wirtz, whereas Liverpool and Manchester City apparently were willing to go as high as 150 million euro, there or thereabouts 125 million pound. This piece goes on to say, and these are from Bayern fans, now remember this, that it backfired and it angered Florian Wirtz's father, Hans, who felt blindsided by it and disrespected. The Wirtz family was upset by Bayern's arrogant and entitled approach. They travelled to England to explore other options with Manchester City in a strong position. Florian is more open to a Premier League move than before. Bayern's strategy alienated the player and gave rivals an advantage. And this is coming from a Bayern space. So, as you can see, they seem stressed about it. They seem worried that the way Bayern have gone around this deal for Wirtz may have alienated them. And that's where Liverpool and Manchester City come in. Now, it's a long way between us looking at a player and us actually getting them through the doors. But let's wait and see what happens with it. If you get Wirtz, he will be the next Coutinho, hopefully. Well, we had a very interesting conversation, Mohammed, last night about this. And we were all trying to figure out where we play him. You know, do you put him in that Dominic Szoboszlai position? Does he become a false nine? Is he a second forward? Is he a wide player? And truth is, the answer to all of them could be yes, or none of them. But look, let me just say this. I would rather have Florian Wirtz in the team than not in the team. And if there is an option at all to sign him, I certainly hope we take the option up and make it happen. What that means for other transfer targets and regards to fees, again, something we'd have to talk about as and when it happens, but I'm not holding my breath. Let me put it that way. I'm not holding my breath that we sign him because FSG, and I'm preconditioned to being concerned about them spending. But again, it's moving along and we're going to have to just see how it pans out. How much would Wirtz be worth? Can we do a poll? Well, it doesn't really matter what we think. The price tag seemingly is 150 million euro. Now, I'm sure that Liverpool or Man City, if he's willing to come to the Prem, are going to try and knock that number down a little bit. But I think it's safe to say we're talking about a £100 million player there. How much is he worth? Well, Transfermarkt, I believe, have him valued at about 109 million, something like that. But I think it's fair to say he is a superstar. I feel comfortable saying that. But this is all really worrying because you sit here saying all this stuff and you put glowing praise on the player, but you're also really concerned that he goes to a rival and then you end up having said all these great things about a player who ends up in a Man City shirt and you feel heartbroken. So I don't want to go too deep into it with regards to positivity because I'm honestly just cautiously optimistic. I think that's the phrase. Aaron Garza. So we haven't had a creative attacking mid in a long time. I think Salah would be licking his chops at the idea of his IQ and distribution along with Frimpong's pace and runs aiding him. Absolutely. It's a great show, Aaron. The overlapping runs, the space and underlapping runs as well, by the way, which is something Mo utilises really well. You know that lovely little slide rule pass that he plays. It would be great, but the real creativity for me would still need to come in. And I'm talking the likes of a Cherky, a Wirtz, and we're starting to see more links coming out to those, what I would call old-fashioned number 10s to some extent. So we'll talk about Cherky in a minute because, as I've mentioned, the news is just flying through. Kev Parker said Wirtz will be worth every penny. He's the new Coutinho without a doubt, still young and world-class, would be boss the midfield and box. It would be a dreamland to get him in. I'm almost too scared to be too fulsome in the praise, Kev, because I'm worried about Man City. Because what I do know is, I know Man City have put in a lot of groundwork on this over a long period of time. But I also know, and look, this isn't anything secret, everybody's been talking about it. The belief was that he was going to stay in Germany. So what you've even seen in reporting today has been that you'll see a mix of the German side saying Liverpool are absolutely in the mix, but it's been a bit more cautious on the English side of it. Journalists have been saying things like, and by the way, I agree with the journalists on this, things like, if he shows any indication he's willing to come to the Premier League, then Liverpool and Manchester City would move even more forward with it, particularly in Liverpool's case. They just don't want to go in for a player and have another situation with the likes of Zubimendi where he changes his mind and wants to stay. Now, reports tonight in Germany suggest he's already told Leverkusen that he wants to depart Leverkusen. So then you're looking at Bayern Munich or the Prem. You know, Real Madrid don't need him, as much as I'm sure Alonso wouldn't have minded him. So then you're looking around the world and thinking, well, who? No talk really of PSG being in for him. So if it's a battle between Liverpool and Manchester City, I can't tell you who wins that because I don't know the proposals from each group. But I know that we could, at the very least, say, well, we have no potential charges hanging over us. There's no negative PR potentially attached to your name and brand. Because remember, Florian Wirtz and his family have worked really hard to build his career, manage his career, and do things in a certain way. The Manchester City situation, it leaves doubt. Because what if he's unveiled as a City player and they're found guilty and there's loads of negative PR and you're then playing for a club that have been found guilty of cheating? It's not a great look. So if I'm Liverpool, that's the pitch I'm making. Come play for the Premier League champions. Come play in a team that is being built to win the Champions League, the Premier League, and play in front of the best fans in world football. That would be the pitch, I would imagine.